Alright, this is John Colo at DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. In this episode, since it's been requested of me, a lot of people always ask, John, can the Nama J2 juice the cilantro and the parsley? So both cilantro and parsley, I consider them leafy greens, although technically people generally classify them as herbs. And as such, you know, you're not generally going to juice a whole lot of these herbs at once because they can be very powerful, very strong, very overwhelming on your juices. That being said, my simple answer is, of course the Nama J2 can juice cilantro and parsley. You know, here's the thing, the Nama J2 is a good jack of all trades. It juices pretty much all different kinds of produce that can be juiced fairly well, right? Now, specifically, you do need to pre-cut and dice up, in some instances, certain produce items. So for example, I show how the Nama J2 can even juice wheatgrass. Link down below to that video where I recommend you take a scissors and you cut up the wheatgrass. If you just put the whole wheatgrass in there, it's gonna bind, it's gonna clog, it's gonna jam. Likewise with the cilantro, normally you guys buy a little bunch of cilantro and you know, I don't play small here, I go large, and especially this time of year in the springtime, I have cilantro growing in my garden. And this stuff is a monster, guys. I basically harvested it. This is basically almost about 2 pounds of cilantro. This is 1 pound in this hand. We got 1 pound over on this side as well. And you know, unlike the baby cilantro you get at the stores that are like really small, these have nice long stalks. So this would be called bolting cilantro. And you know, the stalks are the hardest part for the Nama J2 to deal with. So we're just gonna go ahead and pre-cut them. This is very similar to when you juice things like celery. Link down below to my video on how the Nama J2 can juice 5 heads of celery without clogging, without jamming, and I show it in the video. So in this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to make 2 different recipes because I know a lot of you guys want to juice cilantro and or parsley for their health benefits. You know, they're antioxidant, they contain many different vitamins, minerals, and phytochemicals that can help many of our body systems. It is said that cilantro can help our bodies detox heavy metals. I'm not going to make any claims in this video, but what I'll say is that juicing cilantro is an excellent thing to do. And for the most part, you're not going to want to juice this much cilantro. So this I will call a torture test for the Nama J2. It may clog, it may jam, but you know, let's see what happens. I'm pretty confident that the Nama J2 should be able to juice all the cilantro. But if not, I'm going to show it to you guys on the video. But of course, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to properly pre-cut the cilantro so it will juice successfully in the Nama J2. Now, be forewarned, I've never juiced cilantro in the Nama J2 before. Normally when I have cilantro like this that's bolting, that's getting really long, I'll use a horizontal auger juicer such as a Santa 727. Honestly, if you're going to juice mostly cilantro and things that are like long and fibrous, that would be a better juicer to use. A Santa 727, link down below to my video on my gardening channel where actually I harvest cilantro and parsley from my garden 1 year and juice it directly in that. So that would be my first choice. That being said, I know a lot of you guys aren't going to own multiple juicers like I do. And if you want to juice a little bit of everything, including cilantro sometimes, yes, the Nama J2 will do it. You just got to follow these procedures. The other thing is when you buy a normal bunch of cilantro, it may be 2.8 to maybe 3 ounces, if that, sometimes even less. I'm juicing a full 16 ounces of cilantro in one juicer with a standard 2-liter hopper. We're going to do straight cilantro juice, and we're going to show you guys what happens. The other side, we're going to juice, once again, about 1 pound of cilantro right here, but we're going to make what my famous detox juice, which my detox juice is simply the cilantro with a bunch of apples to add sweetness, also add some rich pectin fiber that can also help with detoxification, as well as a whole jicama root, which also has the inulin and also soluble fibers that can help with detoxification as well. Of course, a little piece of ginger. A little bit of ginger goes a long way. This is about a 1.5 inch piece. And of course, we got a whole lime, and we're juicing the lime with the skin, the peel, and the pith for the most antioxidant and phytonutrient potential. So with that, let's go ahead and get into juicing. First, I'll be preparing the straight cilantro juice going in the standard Nama with the 2-liter included hopper. And And we're going to move this out of the way to give me some space here. And as you guys can see, we got a huge giant bunch of cilantro. This is a huge bunch. Once again, a 1 pound bunch. I mean, you guys aren't going to get it this fresh unless you grow it yourself like I did. Maybe if you visit your farmer's markets, you'll be able to get nice cilantro like this. I like to juice with cilantro when it's starting to go to flower or bolting. This is right before the flowers start to form. This is when it gets really strong, man. This is like way stronger than the little baby stuff you buy with the little small pieces. It's going to flower. Generally, the plant wants to go to flower and reproduce and make seeds, so it gets really strong and a lot more phytochemical rich because of the plant doesn't want you to eat it necessarily. So basically, to prep the cilantro, all we're going to do is we're going to put it down on my cutting board. I have a nice ceramic knife. The best knives I recommend are the Kyocera ceramic knife. There's a 3-piece kit, which includes this long ceramic chef's knife, as well as my favorite knife, which is the micro serrated tomato knife. Link down below to my Amazon shop where you guys can get this knife set either in a white or the black. And all you're going to do is simply cut the cilantro up. So we're just basically going to cut it up in half once. So you guys can see we have half here, half here. We're just going to go ahead and put these together now to make one big bunch. And now we're just going to go ahead and go down the line and just cut it up into little pieces. So my goal is to cut it into 1/4 inch pieces. You could get away with 1/2 inch pieces. But here's the ticket, guys. The smaller you cut it in this step, the more likelihood of success you're going to have. You know, if you cut it into 1 inch pieces, it may well work, right? I'm not going to say it won't work. That being said, it depends on the quality of your produce. If you have, you know, cilantro that was harvested a month ago and the fibers are getting hard and thick and fibrous, it's not going to juice that well unless you cut it into smaller pieces, you know. If you have fresher cilantro, maybe you could get away with cutting in larger pieces. That being said, for best results, cut to the size I recommend, 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch pieces to basically work every single time. All right, so we got this all cut up. Now that wasn't hard to do, guys, just chopping all this up into pieces. Now the cool thing about the Nama J2 is we could just open this little hopper lid and we could just take handfuls of this cilantro and dump it in the hopper. This is the amazing thing, the game-changing technology in the Nama J2, because normally you'd have to sit and push each sprig of cilantro into the juicer one by one, taking up your valuable time. You know, I would much rather cut everything up, load it in the machine, and then let the machine do all the work. That is really why I love the Nama J2, because it just takes all the work out of juicing practically. You just load up the ingredients, turn the machine on, you walk away, and it juices literally without you. So you can see we got 1 pound of cilantro that we chopped up, and it's filling up this whole hopper. So that's quite impressive. Let me go ahead and get the last bits of cilantro into the hopper. All right, so that's the last of the cilantro going in the hopper. Now, normally I would not recommend juicing straight leafy greens, you know. The issue with leafy greens is that they're so light, and while we do have gravity on our planet, because it is lighter, it won't drop down with gravity to get knocked up by the processing blade at the bottom and then get sucked into the machine. So it'd be far better to maybe cut up some pieces of apple, even put whole apples on top to weigh down the cilantro, to push it in so that it ensures that it gets basically mixed in. And the other fact of the matter is straight cilantro juice is going to taste super hardcore. And also, too, when you juice straight leaves, no matter what leaves they are, they're going to create more foam than if you mix it with other ingredients. Anyways, this side is all loaded, so let's go ahead and shut the lid. That is ready to go as soon as I turn it on. That being said, I now want to prep up the other side. And the other side, we're going to be using the all-new 3-liter hopper. And, of course, we have the 1 pound of cilantro I will also be cutting up right now. So once again, just cut it the same way. We just cut it in half once, and then we just put it together, and then we just chop it up into little pieces. All right, now that I got all the cilantro cut up, now we're gonna start loading the 3-liter hopper. That being said, you don't wanna just put all the cilantro in at once. You actually wanna make a nice mixture of the ingredients as you're loading them in the hopper. So for example, we're gonna take one nice handful of cilantro and put that into the hopper. Now we're just going to go ahead and move all my cilantro to one side of the cutting board, make a huge pile. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and prepare the jicama for juicing. Now this is another oversized vegetable. This is actually known as jicama. It is a root vegetable. Most of the jicama sold in the U.S. is grown in Mexico, unless you're lucky enough to live in California. Maybe certain times of the year, maybe fall, you'll find fresh jicama at your local farmer's market. It'll, of course, be a lot smaller. And this vegetable is a powerhouse of nutrition, believe it or not. It can be high in nitrate, so that may improve your nitric oxide production in your body. In addition, it also has lots of soluble fiber and especially fructooleosaccharides and inulin, which can feed our microbiome. Of course, it's also rich in various vitamins and minerals. You do, however, need to peel the jicama before juicing. There may be, toxic compounds in the peel of the jicama, as well as the leaves and other parts of the plant that we do not want to eat. So I basically just cut off the top and bottom, and I basically shave off all the outer coloring of the jicama. So to save you some time, we're going to go ahead and speed this part of the video up. Alright, so you guys can see I got the whole jicama peeled. Now the next step is we want to cut this into little cubes. That's how it's going to work best with the Nema J2. If you could put greens with cubed up root vegetables, it's always going to help the roots and the greens, or even the fruits, to juice better. The juicer really likes hard fibrous textures such as carrots, beets, or even the jicama to work the best. So basically, I just dice this up into cubes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so you guys can see I basically got some cubed up jicama now. This is what it looks like there for you guys. And we're just going to go ahead and drop some of those in. And then I like to kind of mix this up in the hopper. Next up, we got to pre-cut our ginger, so I recommend slicing it against the grain. The grains go up and down. And we're going to cut it this direction, so we're just going to go ahead and cut it against the grain once again. Smaller, 1/2 inch to, better yet, 1/4 inch slices. Just go ahead and drop that in to the juicer as well. Next up, we're going to go ahead and cut up some lime wedges. All right, so we got our limes. We're going to throw 2 in there. And then next up, we got to cut up our apples into little pieces. Now here's the thing, guys. While I am cutting things rather small, when you cut things smaller in the Nema J2, the machine works better. You could put the whole apple in there. That being said, I want things to kind of feed in the juicer at the same time. So if I put a whole apple in there, all the small stuff will go in first. The apple will finally get chopped up and then go in probably last. And I want everything to be kind of like fed into the machine uniformly. So we're just going to go ahead and we quartered these 1/2 an apple in there. And we're just going to go ahead and throw them in there. So there's small, even pieces. And then, the best thing is you put all this into a bowl and mix it all up uniformly. That being said, we're just going to grab kind of like even amounts of like the jicama and the cilantro. Throw those in there with some of the pieces of apple. And we're going to go ahead and chop up more apple. And I'm going to continue to load the juicer, trying to get it, all the ingredients as evenly distributed as I can. Alright, so we got the 3-liter hopper filled up. Now the most important thing is I don't want you guys to cram stuff in there and then shove it down. I could fit more in there, right? It's always best to leave it loose packed so that the machine and the agitator could work properly and things could gravity drop down. If you cram things in there, you're going to inevitably have to go ahead and stick your finger in the feed chute and kind of rough things up so it actually does drop down. So we just did a loose fill. We could snap that shut, and basically, we are all set up and ready to juice. I think what I'll be doing today is we're going to go ahead and put a stopwatch on, because we're going to turn these machines on both at the same time to see how long it takes to juice. In this case, about 1 pound of cilantro straight. And in this case, we got my detox recipe with 1 pound of cilantro, 1 jicama, several apples, a little piece of ginger, and a lime. Alright, so we're all set up and ready to juice, and I think the first step is we're going to go ahead and hit start and turn both juicers on. Alright, I think we're all ready to go. We're going to go ahead and hit start and then turn both juicers on. Let's see, start, going, turn both juicers on 1, 2, 3. Alright, we're just going to let these go to town. If I did load up everything in this hopper, I would not have to continue to feed things in. But what I think I'll do real quick is prep all the rest of the apples, and then I'll come back when this is pretty much emptied and then load up the rest and get it all juiced. So you guys can see instantly this side is working really nice. all the juice is coming out, and we got, of course, straight cilantro juice over on that side as well. Alright, as you guys can see, it's been about 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and the straight cilantro worked without a hitch. The hopper is pretty much empty. There's a few residue things on the processing blade, but the juice stopped and all the pulp came out. So we're just going to go ahead and turn that off, and we're going to go ahead and speed this up until we finish my detox juice. Alright, as you guys can see, my detox recipe has pretty much finished juicing. We can go ahead and turn that off, and it looks like it took approximately 6 minutes to juice my detox recipe, which made approximately 1,550 milliliters of juice over on this side, and over on the straight cilantro juice from 1 pound of cilantro made about 1 cup of juice. Now, you know, here's my cheat sheet, guys. Generally, 1 pound of produce will equal approximately 1 cup of juice, give or take, depending on the produce item. So in my opinion, the yield on the straight cilantro was actually quite impressive on the J2. And let's go ahead and show you guys what the pulp looks like. This is the pulp in there. We pick up this pulp, and I can squeeze it for you guys all my might. 1, 2, 3. I mean, there's a little bit of juice in there left. But, you know, to me, I would call this pulp pretty doggone dry. Yes, if you spent $2,000 on a juicer, it'd get it even drier. That being said, for, you know, the ease of use, to me, is worth the convenience factor. Maybe not getting it totally dry, but it's pretty doggone dry, all right? So straight cilantro, and then we have our mixed juice here. So now I want to go ahead and do a taste test for you guys. All right, first up, we're going to go ahead and try the straight cilantro juice. Detox in a glass right here, guys. All right, heads up. Wow. That tastes quite medicinal, guys. I don't think most of you guys are going to like that. That's why we made my detox juice. Once again, we got the cilantro diluted down with apples to make it sweet. The jicama, you know, to add the soluble fiber, help pull additional toxins out of us, as well as the lime and the ginger. This actually smells quite good. Wow. I could drink this one all day long, guys. So much better to make a nice detox juice instead of the straight cilantro. But what did we learn in this episode? Whether you want to do straight cilantro or whether you want to make a detox juice, you know, to juice cilantro with other fruits and vegetables, the Nema J2 can easily do it without any problems. Once again, 1 pound, pre-cut it, 2 minutes, juice time. You didn't even have to push it in. And boom, we got a nice dry pulp with the fibers broken down. And of course, in the cilantro detox juice, also did a great job. Tastes even better because we added the other ingredients that kind of tempered down the strong flavor of the straight cilantro juice. Now, my name is John Kohler, and I started my company DiscountJuicers.com back in 1998 to save you guys money on juicers, as well as, more importantly, educate you guys about the juicers, their capabilities, and more importantly, comparing and contrasting them against each other. So my channel is filled with over 600 videos demonstrating and comparing juicers so that you guys could find the right juicer for you. And of course, if you guys are interested in buying the Nema J2 because it can juice cilantro, as well as things like wheatgrass, even things like bananas, links down below my video, as well as root vegetables, leafy greens. I mean, links down below in the description to all my videos where I've juiced pretty much everything in the Nema J2, showing you guys how versatile it is and how, more importantly, easy it is to use by literally loading the hopper, shutting the lid, and you could walk away and take care of other more important tasks in your life than just simply standing over the juicer and pushing each produce item in one at a time. So if you guys want to save 10% off the Nema J2 juicer or any of the accessories, make sure you guys use the coupon code Cilantro10. We'll throw it up right there, CILANTRO 10 at nemawell.com. That'll save you guys 10% off the juicer, which is $55 in the United States. That coupon code will work worldwide. And currently NAMA is offering free shipping to the 48 United States and also to the European Union when you get the EU version of the juicer, which is simply amazing. Also, of course, you guys could use that same coupon code to save 10% off the accessories. And of course, my favorite accessory is this 3-liter hopper, which allows you to put in 50% more produce in the hopper. So 3 liters versus the 2 liters. I generally find that 3-liter hopper works best on fruits and roots, although, you know, in this case it worked pretty good with greens, but I find that you'll have less residue when juicing greens in the 2-liter hopper because it basically goes straight down. Nonetheless, if you're juicing fruits and roots, the 3-liter hopper will save you time because it'll allow you to fill up more in the hopper at once instead of having to reload the hopper multiple times. And once again, if you guys use that coupon code Cilantro10, not only will you save 10% off, but more importantly, NAMA will share with me a small commission so I can continue to buy my cilantro, pay my light bill, pay my video editor, so I can make these videos for you guys to show you guys the best practices and more importantly, you know, create all the content I do so that you guys could find the right juicer for you, because that is really why I'm here. I'm here to share my expert knowledge in juicers, in juicing, in nutrient extraction with you guys so that you guys could extract the most nutrients and get the best bang for your buck when buying a machine. That being said, also, of course, the NAMA J2 has a full 15-year warranty. Be sure to watch my other video if you haven't seen other videos on the NAMA J2, what they don't tell you about the NAMA J2 juicer. That's my most popular video, and it really goes in deep and will share with you information about the J2 you literally won't hear on any other YouTube channel. So I hope this information is valuable to you. So thank you for using my coupon code instead of other people so I can continue my mission to educate the world about juicers and the power of fruits and vegetables. If you guys enjoyed this episode today, juicing the cilantro in the NAMA J2 juicer, hey, please be sure to give this a big thumbs up. Also, more importantly, share this with other people that are interested in juicing cilantro and getting the health benefits from it, including detoxification communities and whatnot, so that they could learn how easy it is to juice cilantro, including bolting cilantro in the NAMA J2 juicer. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss my new upcoming episodes. I'll be coming every Friday, 7 days. You never know what new juicers I'll be comparing or demonstrating or what new juicer knowledge bombs I'll be dropping on you. So make sure you click the little bell so you get notified as my new videos come out. And finally, be sure to check out past episodes. The past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 600 episodes at this time on this channel dedicated to teach you guys all about the different juicers, comparing and contrasting them against each other, and providing my expert opinions so that you guys could buy the right juice for you. Links down below, also in the description, to some of my favorite videos I've made in the past about the NAMA J2 that you will want to watch before you make your purchase selection. So with that, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for YouTube visitors.